I think you. Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Mr. Lee, and we are here to celebrate Earth Day, which is, as you know, every day. But today is special because the University of Hawaii, for over 35 years, has been gathering our community to recycle, to talk about the earth, to learn about the geography and all of the plants that are growing and all the exciting things. But I'm here to talk to you about making masks, about making little characters come to life with objects that we have all around our house. Maybe we use some masking tape, maybe we use the paper bag, maybe the newspaper. We're going to be cutting things out. I was the oldest of 8 children, and it was my responsibility to tell stories, keep everybody together, have fun, use what we have. So we would go in the backyard, find a bunch of sticks, put things together. We would come in, play the piano, have plays, tell stories. Well, that's what we're going to do now. We're in this special time of COVID. So we're going to utilize things that we know, for example, the dolphin in the sea, and our own face, and maybe we can combine them. So it's about something very simple, as we know, the paper towel roll. We all have these, and we're going to learn how to cut and form and utilize them, and possibly start to create what the Hawaiians called a ki'i, an object. Now, some people may even see it as sculpture. It's all in the realm of the beautiful world of art, learning how to express that which we love the most. And so on Earth Day, we gather, we stop, we look at the materials that we have. For example, the newspaper. We're going to be working with our own newspaper. You may have some scrap paper. We're going to scratch and doodle and draw. Masking tape, a very basic household phenomenon. We're going to use masking tape. A pair of scissors. Safety is a rule, so please be careful. Where are the adults? I hope you are with us. We call this Ohana Arts. Masking tape, pair of scissors, scrap paper, maybe a pencil, could be a ballpoint pen, maybe even a marker, could be some crayons, whatever it is that will make a mark. Or you might want to do it all in the silent language of mime. We can put the objects together, we can cut them, we can twist and make the shapes stay together. Or, again, recycling. I know some of us like to watch movies on TV, and we like to have some popcorn. I want you to take a look inside of the box. Before we take it apart, I want to tell you something. There's the robot in the factory. And as this cardboard is sliding by, it puts a little slab of glue on the cardboard, and that's what seals the box. So we don't have to use our scissors yet, or we don't have to rip it. But if you look inside at that lip, we're going to just slowly one side to the other. Open it up, and it gives us this flat material with the lines already cut out for us. So we're going to be cutting those out later. But right now, to help us get started, we're going to take a look at our own hands. So whether you are lefty or righty, we're going to put our hand down and we're going to trace it. Now, when I was a young person, my hands were for throwing the baseball, throwing the football, learning how to hold a ping pong. But now we're just going to put our hand down and we're going to trace it. I'm just using a pencil. And this is a part of even what I'm doing with you right now. We're getting to know each other. This is part of the warm-up. So as we trace our hand down, this is one of the elements that we're going to be working with. Left hand, right hand. We're going to be, as we say, cutting and forming and drawing together. But as part of the warm-up, we just put our hand down on a piece of scrap paper and we traced it. Yes? Now we can take another, say a ballpoint pen, and on that, inside of the hand, we're going to make all kinds of marks. We call these the cross hatching. We have the zigzag. We have do-da diddly dots. We have jagged lines. We have crooked, straight, all kinds. Just moving your hand around in there. And right away, I was thinking about outside. I could hear the cars. I hear the people talking to each other. But as I trace my hand, as I take my pen, I'm starting to focus. I'm starting to concentrate. Because really, why we are gathered here, especially for Earth Day, we want to tell stories. We want to tell stories that are going to grow just like a seed that we plant in the ground, and it starts to create little roots going down, and then a stem comes up, and out of that stem a little leaf sprouts, and then we see the flowers, and there is the fruit. So there's no other way that we can work within the arts except thinking of that seed. And the seed is something you have inside of you. It's your image that comes along. And the one that we're working with today, our hand. Down, we traced it, we warmed up with different shapes, and now, to get a little more complicated, we're going to take a pair of scissors. And with these scissors, we're going to cut out the lines that we drew along our hand. And I mentioned that I was the oldest of 8 children, and out of that, my sisters began to sing so much and so beautifully that my father said, "You should be in a play." So we joined the playhouse in our town, and we started to be a part of Peter Pan, Tom Sawyer, Babes in Toyland. Then we went to the adult theater. We were doing Oklahoma, The Music Man, many, many shows, and you have to fall in love with the audience. That is the first thing that happens to you. You're not with your family. You're not even with your friends. You're out there alone on the stage expressing something. And isn't that something we do when we take a walk in the forest, when we go into the garden? We see all of those friends, the plants that are growing, the trees that are providing the shade for us. So we thank Mother Earth for the joy that she gives us. And now we have actually my own hand, and then we have the hand already decorated. It can start to move around and express itself. If we had a stronger light here, we would see that it's leaving a shadow down here. And we also look, we have an empty space here. And this empty space is known as the negative space. And this is the positive space. I put it back inside there, the negative and the positive. So very simply, just getting started, just meeting each other, just learning to use something very simple, a pair of scissors, a pen or a pencil, some scrap paper. Now, for example, we opened up the box, we take the hand, we place it down on the cardboard, and we're going to trace it again. And this is part of our vocabulary of arts that we're learning, because we are now making what we call a pattern or a template. And as we trace, we go along and we see there's the hand again. So we're going to take our scissors, we're going to cut that out, and ladies and gentlemen, we're already well on our way to using recycled materials, tracing, creating a pattern, and this is going to enable us to get into the arts of puppetry, sculpture, creating objects. As I said, in Hawaii we call it a ki'i. And from there, it's going to help us to tell stories. So I'm asking you to listen to Mother Nature, listen to what the birds are singing. There may be a story in there. I have a couple of stories I'd like to work with. One of them is called The Golden Lehua. Another one is from Laupohoihoi, having to do with Poliahu and Pele racing their holua down the mountainside. We also have many, many other stories right here in Hilo. Rainbow Falls, which is actually Wainui Nui, and that's where Maui came to protect his mom from the mo'o, the giant lizard that was inside the cave. So please take a look at recycling, creating our first little, literally, hand puppet waving to you, thanking you for joining us. And my name is Mr. Lee, and we are here to celebrate and to create. Thank you for joining. Mahalo.